Bottom Line Sports Talk. I'm George Abraham. You know my partner Albert Cameron. Special guest with us today, coach of the Youngstown State Penguins, Jerry Slocum. Coach, welcome to the show.
Always my pleasure to be with you two guys.
We love having you. This is our highlight. You know that, don't you? This is the highlight of the year on the Bottom Line.
It doesn't get much better
That's
for me
right.
either. That's it.
Coach, when you walked in, I said you look great, and I know the reason why. I've known you for a long time. This is your favorite time.
Exactly.
I mean, you know that's why I know you look great.
Yep.
The learning curve is so great for your team. You have a lot of new kids. Tell us about that learning curve, how they're picking it up.
Well, you know, you're absolutely right, Albert. I mean, this is my favorite time.
Mm-hmm.
You know, this is the beginning of my 40th year of college coaching.
40 years. Can you imagine that?
And it's my favorite time. This is the time that you get to teach every day, see improvement every day, get guys to where you want them to be. This is my most fun. You know, you get later, the year goes on, you get playing, you get all the noise, you get people complaining about playing time, you get this, you get that. This is for me when everybody's like a sponge, everybody wants to learn, and that's my most enjoyable time.
Well, it's teaching.
Yeah.
And that's why it's your favorite time. That's really what you love.
Yep.
Teaching the game. That's why you stayed in so long. You know, every year you call me and say, Coach, I got something new. I have something
Yep.
exciting. Well, it's teaching, and then you watch the kids grow. And see, sometimes, Coach, you know this. You've watched them go from here to here,
Yeah.
and then they play their first game, and the scoreboard says they didn't play well, and you're saying, we played really well. I like the way we played. Sometimes the scoreboard doesn't match
Right.
how good your team has become. You know what I'm talking about, Coach?
Yeah, and you know, and the thing about it, Albert, with this group is that you know you have 8 new guys. This is a year, I should say, that I am going to have a little bit more patience than I normally have. We don't get things. We're further ahead offensively than you are defensively because all those kids get brought up bouncing basketballs and shooting basketballs. You know, a closeout, high hands, box out, doubling the ball. I mean, that's like foreign terms because they've never played any defense. So we've got some really gifted kids. I think you're going to like our new guys. Believe it or not, I think we have a chance to maybe like shoot the ball a little bit better than we have.
Wow.
We're a little bit more athletic at the defensive end. I think we've got like 3 or 4 guys that can cover a little bit better. So, but there's, you know, it's like I've said all week to a bunch of media people. They ask me, well, what do you have? And I tell them, and I look at them and say, I don't know. You know what I mean? We haven't been under the gun yet. We've got a lot of questions, but we clearly got some answers. I think we've got guys that are going to step up and do the job that they're capable of doing. But who knows? You don't know until you get in those situations.
Gifted kids that does not always translate to great defense. Let's see that. See, the game of defense is: are you in the right spot, and are you willing to help your teammate?
Yeah, do you want to be there?
You know.
Well, you know, and again, you know, what people don't understand how important the mental aspect part of basketball is. You know, I tell our guys every day, you know, mental is to physical is 4 is to 1. You all know about we talk about how we only recruit shooters, but you're absolutely right. You know, guys that are a little bit more athletic doesn't mean that they're going to guard any better. But I will say though that you know they have feet a little bit better. They have feet better than you guys.
Oh yeah.
You know what I'm saying? That they can guard a little bit better because I think their feet are a little bit.
And you know what? When you train them, and I know you do, you have that head start in that mentally they're already a half step closer. They might not be as quick physically,
right,
but you have them thinking in such a way that if they know they have to help, they're going to be on the way instead of looking and thinking.
You know, we've done a lot this year. You guys don't appreciate this because you're basketball guys. This might be too much basketball.
No, I don't think so. No one.
We've done a lot of stuff this year, Albert, where we've really given the defensive at the disadvantage numbers. You know, I mean, we're doing a lot of like 4 offense, 3 defense, 5 offense, 4 defense, and making them play and making them scramble. You know, we're doing a bunch of different things. I think you're going to like what we're doing. We got a bunch of stuff that we're doing a little bit different. You know, when you get a new group like that and you have 8 new guys, it makes you stretch as a coach.
Isn't that awesome?
Yeah, I mean, we've had to throw out some stuff because I don't think we are capable of taking it all in right now. I don't even know in December whether we'll be adding some stuff, but we've We've done a couple of things a little different. I think you kind of like it. Some new drills, a bunch of new stuff. Just because of the fact that we've got so many new guys, I've tried to trim back, focus on a couple of smaller things. I think it's helping all of our guys.
Let me ask you, the official date's the 15th of October. What were you doing up to that? I noticed you have a voice, so you're not screaming.
No, well, you know, the new NCAA rule, George, this is the second year in effect. You can go to your first game, count back 40 days. In that 40 days, you got to give them 12 days off. So we started October 2nd. Okay, so what we've done is we've gone on 2 days, off a day, on 2 days, off a day. This past week we're coming off on 3 days, off a day. So what it does is it just allows a teacher to enjoy the classroom even more. Because now what it does is it's not taking you, back when you started on the 15th, you'd go 6 straight days. Mm-hmm. Then you'd take off a day. Then you'd go 5 or 6 straight days. And then you would take off a day. And on Saturdays and Sundays you were going double sessions. You'd go 2 hours in the morning, a walk through for a half hour, an hour and a half to 2 hours in the afternoon. Because you were so compressed by playing, starting on the 15th and playing on the 14th or 15th, you know, you're trying to jam everything in, and those guys never got time off. A lot of people said about the criticism of the new rule change, they're going to get tired more. I think that's just so absurd.
It's the opposite.
It's just the opposite.
Yeah.
We're all of us are more relaxed. We're doing more things. We're teaching better because we've got time to teach. So that October 15th day, for 2 years now, this is the second year. What a tremendous deal that is for us to be able to be with our guys.
Well, it's a tremendous for you, Coach. On the way over, I was thinking, I said, I play for the greatest, Coach McCluskey, that I saw. You are the other great practice that I love to see. I got to see Sean Miller, who finally I saw another guy who believes in practice with smarts and doing it right. Here's what you do. You have varieties of practice. You mix them up year to year, but you're also always consistent on your fundamentals. That's what you do. How are they picking up the fundamentals that you stress?
If I had to grade it, Albert, from 1 being fantastic to 10 being terrible, I'd say we're about a 3.5. Okay, so I mean, here's the thing. Are they trying to please me? Yes.
That's awesome.
Okay. Are they trying to do it? Yes. Do we talk enough? No. Those cotton picking cell phones and iPads and that, and you know what I mean? Our young people have lost the ability to just communicate. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? I take their phones from them. You know what I mean? They all walk into a room. Those phones dive into their pockets because if they just, one of the things, as you know, that people have to do when you play the game of basketball, when you're on the offensive end, but what end of the floor, at the defensive end, you have to communicate. And I think that's where we're slower than I want us to be. We just don't talk enough.
Maybe it's new guys too, though. Many new guys. I told Albert, I got this from you, about making your drills competitive.
Yeah.
Like, I just think any young coach I come across, I say, I'm going to give you one tip. I said, Coach Slocum makes his drills competitive. There's a winner and a loser.
What we're doing, you'll love this. What we're doing is we're clustering our drills. So, but we're keeping score, like we're doing like a defensive drill. We're keeping score, divided into 2 groups. Then we're doing another drill, but we're keeping the score. We're dragging that score in to another drill.
To another drill, right.
To another drill. So now you got a total. Then we're going to a fast break transition drill, and we're dragging that score in. So you could be down 5 going into that new drill. Mm-hmm. Okay? And then you could be down 6 going into another drill. You could be up by 2. It could be an even kind of a thing. So now you're in that drill and kind of having fun with it from over to over. We're more competitive. If somebody said to me, what's the difference? Is there any difference between last year and this year? Obviously, we've lost some great players. This group's a more competitive group.
Awesome.
We compete better. A lot of it has to do with the type of kid we got. I think they're just more competitive. But the other part of it is just our practices. I think we're teaching how to compete at a high level.
Well, Coach, two things I've heard you talking now for 10 minutes. Number one, the 5-on-4, 4-on-3, those drills, that takes communication.
Right.
If you have no chance of being successful,
Right.
if you don't communicate in that,
And we
in
do it,
that
and
drill.
we do it every day.
Yeah, and secondly, the competition drills you described, you'll hear kids say, "We're down 3, we're up 2, let's go." It's another way
Right.
of voicing. So all these drills also lead to your communication.
Yeah, and again, like we're doing a drill right now. We'll be doing a drill, and I'll say to George, I'll be standing over on the side of the court, and I'll say, "Listen, George, we're going to fast break 3," and then I'll walk away. George better get it to everybody that we're doing fast break 3.
Beautiful.
So I'll blow the whistle, and if he's not screaming it and getting everybody there, then we go run. And then I'll be another drill, and I'll say, "Listen," because we've got 5 different fast break drills. I'll say, "Albert, we're going fast break plus." And they'll look at me like, "Oh, okay," and I'll say, "No,
I don't need to know. I know what we're doing.
I know what
Yes,
I'm doing."
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? You better get it to everybody. So after like the second practice and about 9 sprints, I told George we're fast break.
Yeah, there's a
4.
communication. After they go up and down, if they get it.
There's a reward
Yeah.
going, and he's
Yeah.
screaming at everybody, "Hey, we're going fast break
Yeah,
4."
Pavlov had something there
You
with
got
those
it.
dogs. He had a, hey, let's
There's
get
no doubt about that.
let's get a little more specific. The horizon. I mean, could you be in a bigger meat grinder than that? Let alone that Thursday, Saturday road setup that I find next to impossible.
Well, and the thing about it is I've been at YSU now for 10 years. The beginning of my 10th year. This is the 9th out of 10th year that we're starting on the road in our league. We're 4 out of 5.
You're the road warriors. This is the truth.
Last year you won.
Last year we were gone for a week.
Yes.
I said
This
you
year
wasn't.
we're 4 out of our first 5 league games. We're 4 out of 5. And at the media day, one of our coaches said to me the other day, they said, the sad thing about it is, for a league that determines so close between a 3 and a 4 and a 2 and a 1 and all that stuff. He said, you can be in such a hole after the first 2 weeks.
They're trying to put you in it.
Right.
That's what they're trying to do.
Yeah, it's easy to say it turns around, you're home the second half. But if you could steal 1 or 2 of those early ones, now you have them coming to your place.
Right.
But like you say, you start 1 and 4, it's like, oh no.
Yeah, and the thing about it is, for one of those things, we go to Green Bay on a Sunday, play on a Sunday up there, and then we don't play to Milwaukee till Wednesday, and we got to try to get back. It's our first week of classes, so trying to get back to.
So will you
Thursday.
come back? How you'll
No,
stay?
yeah,
Okay.
we'll stay.
And they
Yeah.
have iPads and all that. I mean, that's much better today.
Well,
Give
but
us
they
the average.
haven't been in class yet.
Yeah,
That-
give
that's
us the
problem.
average day. Let's say we're going to go play Green Bay on a Sunday, and we're going to be there till Wednesday.
Well,
How do you keep them busy?
I'll tell you what. Let me tip off our year for you. You guys will enjoy this because you're basketball guys. We open up at Kent State. We open up with a home game against Kent State. We turn around on Sunday and play a 4:00 game the day
What day
after.
was that the Saturday game? Or
Yeah, the Saturday game
Kent
against
State.
Kent,
Okay.
right. We turn around and play a Sunday 4:00 game because it's part of the Eastern Michigan tournament that we're in, that they are sending a non-1 to us, but you have to play it within 10 days of the tournament. So we're playing that. We turn around and leave on a Monday to play Central Michigan on a Tuesday away.
3 games in 4 days.
Wait, it gets worse. Then we're up in Central Michigan, and we're playing in a tournament at Eastern Michigan Friday, Saturday, and Sunday.
Oh man, 6 games in that short
So
time.
we're playing 6 games in 8 days.
I've never heard of that before.
Well, there you go. Welcome to my life. Now, you might think I'm looking good now.
Yeah.
Catch me in a month.
Let me
I'm
Yeah.
not kidding.
Wow, no.
So your your coaches right now are breaking down film of
You're
6
right,
opponents, 7 opponents.
You're
It's,
right.
it's
You
crazy.
started that already?
You have to,
I
yes.
spent an hour and a half today on Kent, Eastern Michigan, and Central Michigan.
You have to, yes.
Now here's the thing that's annoying. Central Michigan, that guy was the guy that was at Drake that got fired at Providence.
Tom Davis.
Davis,
yeah,
right.
Davis, yeah.
His son,
He
yeah.
plays the little hybrid 3-2
Plays 3-2, he
matchup.
does, plays 3-2.
That 3-2 matchup, whatever. and then we turn around and play Eastern Michigan. He's from Boeheim School. They play
2-3 zone,
another
okay.
2-3 zone.
Okay.
So, not only Albert, are we doing a lot of man-to-man stuff. I've never had our zone stuff in this early.
You had to, though.
Yeah, we
You
have to.
There's
Yeah, I
no
mean,
way out.
because
You'll end up throwing the ball around the perimeter.
right, because we're
That's
we're
no good.
we're going, out of our first 6 ball games, we're going to see 4 zones.
How about that?
You know what I mean?
I've never heard that. That's twice now I've ever heard of
and
that.
You might not see anything all year. You might not see 4 more.
We're not going to see it in our league.
Now, when you
we're
do
going
those,
that.
does each coach get a team? Like
Yes,
when you're
yeah.
breaking down your assistants,
Yep.
Albert's got Eastern Michigan, Greg's
he'll-
got Central Michigan.
Right, he'll have 4. What we'll do is we'll break down the schedule, and we'll go through, and you'll have 3 or 4 different teams. You'll have 3 or 4 different teams. We'll stagger them so that you've got a game, so you're not going back to back. And then while they're looking at that game, like I prepare for all games. So like they're preparing for, let's say when we get down to league play, we're opening up at UIC, for example. You'll have UIC, you'll have Milwaukee, there'll be Green Bay. But I'll watch all 9 of each one.
That's
of
why
them.
that's why you look so
watch?
tired. That's
Right.
why you're not getting sleep.
Because I'm there.
You have to do it, though. That's one thing you know.
Right. I get there at 6:30, and when it's dark, I leave when it's
Yes.
dark because even though you only have the responsibility of one game, for me to feel confident going into that game
No
myself,
question.
I'm watching all those games, and then what I'm doing with you is you and I are sitting down, and I'm saying to you,
Picking
okay,
your brain, yeah.
now I'm saying, okay, now show me their 10 best plays after timeouts. When they come out to start the second half, I'm noticing a pattern of one play. What are the plays that they're running after that?
So you have to know that he knows. I mean,
Right.
I hate to say it like
Well, I don't
that,
wanna
but you're
say it
not saying you're checking on him, but at the same time,
let's
you
put it this-
are.
well, yeah.
'Cause you're the guy they're going to let go, not them. You go 0-10, you're the guy, right? That's what I said to those guys. I said, I'll watch them in person. They said, well, we have film. I said, let me take a look at it. Just in case they're doing something different. Don't fire me.
Right. Well, my guys are pretty good. And what I like, because they've got to put the whole thing together now. And what they'll do is, our guys do a tremendous job. There'll be a 2-3 page paper report, highlights each guy. Then they'll end up going to strengths and weakness of each guy. Then they'll end up having offense, defense. We'll give our guys their 10 best offensive plays, their 5 or 6 what they do defensively, and then I'll let our guys get what I call like 8 or 9 plays of just, hodgepodge, whatever they want, and then they've got to present that package to our guys. So, those guys do a really good job. But you're right. You know what I'm saying? I'm not going into that timeout and out of immediate timeout, not knowing for myself that like Kent State in the first timeout in the second half is going to come out and trap you off that first defensive that on the second half. So I got to know that stuff, and I want to know that stuff. I'm not going to sleep good. I don't sleep much, but I'm not going to sleep good if I don't know it for myself.
No, it makes a lot of sense. Hey, the MAC teams, do you think they puff up a little bit for you guys?
Well, I mean, it's the 3 years ago, like we were like 4-1 against the MAC schools. This year we're playing 4.
Okay.
Next year we'll be playing 3. So it's we're going to be playing. I believe next year we'll be playing Kent again, Toledo. This year we've got Central Michigan, Eastern Michigan, Kent. So it'll be. I mean, those are good games for us.
Coach, when you go into the season, right now I think leadership's a major. You get this many kids, they don't want to hear you all the time.
Exactly.
They hear you all the time. It gets old by January. As your
We've
seniors,
got,
have you stepped up for you?
They've done a tremendous job. DJ Cole, Bobby Hayne, who I think is the best big in the league.
He's really good.
6'11".
He's really good.
Sean Amaker has been a pleasant surprise in terms of a leadership role. He's a 5th-year guy.
I know all these guys, Coach. That
Sean-
surprised me.
Yeah,
I'm
me
so
too.
glad to hear that. That might mean something. It might transpire into him playing better too.
Well, the thing about it is that it's his time. It's his turn.
That's a good way to say it.
You know what I mean? And he's invested, and I really, have
I'm
been
excited
proud.
about that. I'm excited
I'm really
about that.
proud of the way that he's kind of led in practices, and then Fletcher Lawson's done a nice job too. So even though we've got young guys, we've had good leadership.
Yeah, and you need that. Now let's turn it around, and now you got all kind of new players you said are really talented. How many players looking at your roster right now do you think you could play at this moment right now? Is it 7? Is it 10? Is it not? What do you think coming this season? Or you're not sure yet?
You mean like including our upper class kids?
Yes, upper class and young kids.
I think we have a solid 9.
Awesome.
You know what I mean?
Now, will you play? You have 9. Say in passengers you had 7 or whatever. Would it affect your style of playing, knowing you have more people to use?
There's one thing I don't do well in terms of coaching, George, and that is I don't sub well.
I'm the worst.
I just
No, I'm the worst. No.
I'm looking at the two worst.
I don't sub well.
He said to me one time, he said, you didn't play. I said, he's better turning that dude is athlete.
Here are two of my favorite guys, and they do both do the same
here's the
thing.
thing. I didn't like to come out when I played. Did you like to
No,
come out?
I don't want to come out. I figured I'd get a couple buckets before he got me to the table. I'd see the dude at the table. I think he might be there for me.
That's exactly
No,
right.
I
gotta
it's
do
the hardest thing about your job. I tell him,
I've
the
got
length of the game
I've got to do it better.
is hard.
But it's not in your system. It's not in your system to do it. So there's certain things, certain guys.
But I have to. I mean, but I have to because we've got guys. We have a kid that Sean Stewart that's from North Carolina is a great player. We've got a kid that was with us last year, Jalen Plummer, has had a tremendous summer. We got a kid like Asandi Vaughn, one of our newer kids. We got Sidney Umde. We've got to play those guys.
That's awesome.
You know what I mean? We've got to play them. And so to answer your question, we're going to get up and pressure a little bit more.
Good.
I'm hoping we're going to get a little bit more foul trouble.
That's okay.
People look at you and you'll say, what? Yeah, but there's only 3 ways. There's only 3 ways you sub people. You stink, right?
Yeah.
Exhausted.
You're tired and you can't walk another step, or you're in
Right.
foul trouble.
Right.
Now I can do those 3.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? I can do that. But when one guy's playing really, really good, I don't care if he's tired. I have a tough time
We
squeezing
have
the
a
trigger.
running joke. There's a guy in Pittsburgh area that does that. He says, we couldn't stop him. He goes, we just took him out. He hit 5 straight shots. He said, I'm glad he took him out because we couldn't stop him.
Right. Well,
Come on.
That never happened for us.
No.
Matter of fact, we kind of have our guys, our players, kind of laugh at me because we have this rule that if you sub yourself, you give a fist to come up because you want to break, then you put yourself back in. And so I had all the kids over for our house for like a points of emphasis meeting, and I go through and I explain about 20 things that are musts that I can't tolerate. Mm-hmm. And I say they're friction eliminators. These are things that you've got to do. If you do these 20 things,
Mm-hmm.
then we'll never have a problem. Mm-hmm. So one of those things I say is if you play hard enough, you get a fist and you get it back in. I looked at 2 of our kids. Our 2 kids were giggling. And I said to one of our kids at the meeting, I said, what are you guys laughing at? They go, Coach, that's true most of the time, unless the guy that's on the floor that we went out for made 3 jump shots, and we're not getting back in.
This way.
Well, the description coach, because I follow you. I don't really follow anybody else, and I follow it. So I go on YSU basketball, and I saw a quote that I really liked. The kid said, "Here's how we describe Coach Slocum: consistent and persistent." And I couldn't think of any 2 words better to describe you. So the kids understand who you are.
Right.
They know that you're going to be today the same guy, and you're going to be the same guy in January, and also you're going to harp, and you're going to be persistent on those things. That means something to you.
I'll give
How do you like that description?
I'll give you a line. I'll give you a line that Sean Amaker, like we had talked about before. We were doing a drill, and before the drill started, I said, "Listen, these are the 2 because I don't believe in like yelling or punishing without like. I don't get any joy out of that. So before the drill, I said, "Listen, this is what we're doing. You do this, we're good. We don't do this, we're going to run." Mm-hmm. So drill starts. 5 passes in the drill. I blow my whistle, and I said, "On the line." Sean Amaker walks from the baseline after everybody's on the baseline out to about 5 feet on the floor, looks at the kids and looks at him. He goes, "He doesn't change. He doesn't
Consistent,
change."
that's what I'm saying.
He said, "This is who he is. He's not going to change. He's not letting you go if you don't do it. So let's just do it."
Oh, awesome.
No halfway, there's no halfway.
Right. And I looked at him and I said, Shawnee, you're right. Normally that might get you out of that sprint, but not today.
That's a good thing.
But that's the leadership. But you
Yeah.
were talking about, that little line right there was worth 17 other lines that he might get all year.
That's right.
But the young kids come in and say, listen, he's not making this up. This is what he believes in.
Right.
This is what he has to do. Coach, your style of play is getting good shots.
Right.
So I know there's no question. Against zone or man, you're going to get it. Defensively, any changes that you made how many games came down the wire last year for you? Anything defensively at the end of the game you thought about throughout? Said, we got to do this better. Is there anything thoughts?
Again, Albert, last year was one, as you know, because you and I have talked. You saw me at the end of the year and thought I might be going to that dude's funeral.
Yes.
So, I mean, we won 15 games. If you gave us 7 points, we would have won 20.
Easily.
That was hard to take. I evaluated it all summer.
Beautiful. That's what I wanted to hear. That's what I wanted to hear.
And there were two factors that I felt that were involved with it. Number one was I don't think that we were competitive enough in those situations.
Okay.
And what I mean by that is that's getting stops. No matter how talented you are physically, you get to that big moment, you got to want to get a stop or want to get a rebound.
Yeah, I watched. I remember one time you needed to stop and they get the rebound, or they tip it back out, and I'm thinking now they have to do it again.
Right, and we got the stop we needed, but we didn't chase the rebound hard enough. I think we're a little bit more competitive.
You worked on that. You worked on it.
And then the last thing was I thought that at the end of ball games, I wasn't happy with our execution out of a timeout where what I wanted is not what I got. And we're doing everything now. Like I'm taking 30 timeouts.
That's what I'm asking.
We're
working on it in practice, right?
We're in practice right now,
Yes.
and we're coming down, and I'm saying, okay, timeout, and I'll bring them over for about
coaching.
15 seconds and say, okay, this is what I want.
Coaching.
And then if you don't do it, and the guy, like yesterday, a guy said, oh, but I was open. I mean, we were executing, and we were supposed to go on a ball reversal to Bobby in the post. That's what you wanted, but I was open. And I looked right at him, and I said, you know what? You're really, really, really open when you're sitting on your tail.
And you're open for a reason. Let's be honest. You're not leaving the best guy open.
Right, because that's where you're going to be.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? And again, that was a hard lesson for that kid to hear, but it's something he needed to hear.
But you need to hear it because when you're winning games, that locker room is so excited.
Yeah.
And when you're losing those kind of games, it is desperation in the coach's voice, what to say next.
Yeah.
So that's why you work on it in practice. Yeah. Summer and fall make winter.
Exactly.
That's just right now. You're
exactly
making
right.
the winter exciting right now. It's not winter's not going to come.
Too late.
Yep.
It's too late right there.
Exactly.
So right today, Coach, and what you've done since October or all summer with them kids is what's going to make the difference. And you seem like you're very happy with their work ethic. So they can't say anything bad about that.
We work hard. There's no doubt
Okay,
about
we're
it.
down to 30 seconds. I want to thank you for coming.
Okay.
It's like I told you, and it's not BS. You are the highlight of our program. We love having you on, and we root for you like crazy. And hopefully we can have you back in the spring. And
Well, I tell you what I'm going to do.
talk
I'm going to tell you what we're going to do this year. I'm going to come on in January.
Okay.
Well, that's even better.
During the year.
Like a midterm grade.
Yeah, midterm. We'll talk about it. Maybe we can squeeze something in like right after that first 4 out of 5. I know we're home for a week where we have kind of like a break.
Greg's our producer's right here right now. How about if we come to you? We come to a practice, sit down with you, and
that'd be
and
awesome.
Do a show on the
That'd be
floor.
awesome.
Show on the floor.
We'll go right into our media room and we can set you up. And,
Great.
We'll do that.
And I'll even buy you guys dinner.
There you go. We'll go
How
for
about
that.
that?
You heard it here. Thanks again for watching Bottom Line Sports Talk.